a drink and I'll be down in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
They say they're from out of town or whatever, we don't give a fuck. The deal is done, now the cake been baked. They need to come on with the drama, whatever they gonna do.
What's cracking, guys? What's going on? It's episode 13 of the Mac Daddy Seminar. As always, I'm your host, Taylor Dunn, and we're rocking and rolling here today, man. I'm just going to go ahead and apologize to everyone. I try and put out a podcast earlier in the week, but I've just been swamped with work lately, and I had to do it when I could. So I stayed up late tonight, Thursday night. I think it's Thursday. Yeah, Thursday night. And I'm going to post this hopefully on Friday morning so you can listen to it on your way into work. But yeah, man, it's been a wild week. It's so weird. Like, whenever I decide to post one of these, like, as soon as I make the podcast and I post it, I'm already thinking, like, okay, what am I going to do on the next one? So I have to find things to do on the weekend just so I have some shit to talk about. And, sometimes not a lot happens, so I have to kind of just, make it up as I go. But, yeah, some shit went down this week. Well, not really, but yeah, in my neck of the woods, in Taylor land, yeah, it was a wild week because, So, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and jump into this. So, for the past, probably, I'd say about a year, I've noticed that I have, this is pretty gross, but I have, like, an excess amount of earwax in my ears. To the point to where, like, I could kind of feel it in there, and even, like, grab, like, a utensil and touch it. Now, I know that sounds disgusting, but yeah, anyway, I could feel it in my ears. Well, whenever I would do that, I'd be like, I got to do something to get this earwax out. And then I'd forget about it. And then, a couple of weeks later, I would feel it again. I'd be like, okay, this is really gross. And I'm going to go ahead and put this out here now. So for the next 2 weeks, give or take, there's not going to be any new episodes. I'm going to be away for work. I have something that I'm going to be doing where I'm not going to be around my computer or any of my setup to record the podcast. So, sorry, we're not going to have a podcast for about 2 weeks. But as soon as I get back, we're going to get right back on the horse. I may do one episode early just so it will fill in for next week, but chances are I'm just not going to be able to because I'm prepping so much for this thing for work. So, long story short, expect an episode after this, episode 14, to be out like the last week of February, maybe even early March. And I know some of you who have been, good friends of mine at least. I know that, doesn't sound like a lot, but it shows me that you guys are listening, okay? And your boy appreciates it, for real. So yeah, long story short, there's going to be about a 2.5 week intermission in the Mac Daddy Seminar, but whenever I get back from this thing, we're going to keep it rolling. But anyways, yeah, so back to my earwax story. So I've had earwax in my ears for about a year now, and I was like, I need to do something to get this out. It just doesn't feel healthy. It feels gross. I need to do something about this. I've gone to the store before and bought an earwax removal kit, put it in my ears, didn't do anything. Okay? When I was younger, I had a lot of problems with my ears, especially my right ear. I had tubes in my ears when I was younger, when I was a kid, and just had a lot of problems with my ears. I always got ear infections, so it was pretty bad. So, before I go on this 2-week-long business trip, I swear to God, if another person drives by my house with their goddamn exhaust turned up like that, yep, there it is. There it goes. Cool. Anyway. If you have a big exhaust like that on your truck, cut this podcast off now. Because I'm not a fan, okay? We don't care. I have a big exhaust on my truck. Cool! Who gives a shit? You know? Anyway, God, dog. I'm 6 minutes in and I've been trying to tell the same story. I keep getting distracted. I'm sorry. Anyways, so I put earwax kit in my ears. It didn't do anything. And I was like, you know what? Before I go on this 2-week-long business trip, let me try something to get this earwax out of my ears. So I went to the store, and they had this thing on the shelf called Max Pro Rinse Earwax Removal Kit. And the reason why I remember the name of that so prolifically, well, I'm about to tell you. So I go home, I get home from work, and, I tell my wife, like, hey, I bought this earwax removal kit. I'm going to get that nasty-ass earwax out of my ears, and I'll be able to hear smells, And she was like, okay, She, of course, being, nervous Nancy like she is always worried about me doing any type of self-first aid on myself. But you know what? Hey, that's what I'm going to do. So I went upstairs and I was going to do it right before I took a shower. Here's my plan. The instructions on the box said to put 5 drops of the earwax softening solution, which is in this little teardrop shaped bottle, in my ears. Put like 5 to 10 drops in the affected ear. Then you put this rubber purple earplug in and let it sit. I was going to sit there in my bathroom, watch a video on my phone or something, and then I was going to take it out, and then you use this water pusher thing, this ear douche, to squeeze water into your ear, and it washes out all the wax that's been softened, right? Sounds pretty good, right? So I go up there, I get all situated, got my water running for my shower, right? And I got all the stuff laid out on the counter. I'm like, okay, cool, I'm ready to go. Well, I open the top to this little teardrop earwax softening solution bottle, and I tilt my head over and I put like 2 or 3 drops in my ears, and I don't really feel anything. I can kind of feel it trickling down my ear canal, and I'm like, okay, let me put 1 more in there and I should be good. I don't know if I hit the Steph Curry shot of drops in my ear or what, but I swear to God, I squeezed this bottle 1 time, and that drop went straight down my ear canal, through my eardrum, and landed on my fucking brain. And it felt like a ghost walked up behind me and roundhouse kicked my fucking ear. Soon as I did it, I just go, oh, and drop what's in my hands. My wife's like, what was that? And I can't even respond to her because I'm in so much pain. Right? My whole right side of my face is hurting. Right? And I can feel water in my ear. And it's like popping. It's like I poured soda in my ear. Right? And it hurts. So my whole right side of my head is hurting. I have this fizzing substance in my ear hole. And like my eyes are watering. It was bad. My nose was running. I was spitting because I could, like when you get something in your ear and you can, I don't know what it is. You have like a tube from your ear to your throat or something. But I could taste it in my mouth. It was gross. And my wife comes upstairs and she's like, what happened to you? And I'm just like, whatever that was hurt bad. She's like, do I need to take you to the hospital? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe if I get in a warm shower, it'll make me feel better. So I'm standing in the shower with my head cocked over to the right, trying to let this stuff, pour out of my ear. Nothing helped. Okay? I get out of the shower and I go lay on the bed, butt naked, in the fetal position, just like twitching in pain, thinking, oh, I'm going to have to go to the hospital now. Like a bitch that I am. But now, well, let me back up a second. So, long story short, it subsides, the pain subsides, and I just, I lay there for a little bit, and it feels a little bit better, and she's like, you need to go to the doctor tomorrow. Do not say you couldn't because of work. I don't care. Get up in the morning and go to the doctor. And that's what I did. I went to the doctor. He went in there. He saw me. He looked in my ear with a stethoscope, or whatever that thing is. Looked in my ear with that little ear funnel thing that's got the light on it. And you know what the doctor tells me? Well, your eardrum looks pissed off. That was his diagnosis. So I'm like, okay, so what should I do? Because, it doesn't hurt anymore, but now my ear feels weird. And he's just like, oh, I'm going to prescribe you an antibiotic, and here's some ibuprofen for the pain. See you later. And now it feels like I have fucking peanut butter shoved in my ears. In one ear. Because everything on that side of my head is muffled. I can't talk to anybody that's on my right side because I can't hear shit they're saying. They're just like, and I turn to my left and I'm like, what? Huh? Speak up, man. I have to tilt my head to the left so that I can hear people like, what? And that's not even my favorite ear. My right ear is my favorite ear. Anyway, good God, how did I spend 13 minutes telling that story? It's because I got off subject 15 times. This is the problem with having ADD. This is what's going on in my head. Somebody asked me, they were like, where do you come up with stuff for the podcast? Like, do you have like a list that you write down? And I'm like, yeah, sometimes, I try to, throughout the week, I'm like, okay, for the next episode, I'm going to make sure I talk about this and this and this. And it's like 3 lines. Everything else is just filled in. And sometimes I don't even have anything written down. I just press record and away we go. So I hope you're entertained. A couple people asked me about the t-shirts. They're going to be in soon. If I had to guess, they'd probably be in like early March. I know that seems like forever away because January is like 17 months long, but because I'm going to be on this business trip, I mean, it wouldn't matter because I'm going to be gone, you know, and I wouldn't get back to my mailbox where the t-shirts are going to come in at till the end of February anyway. So look out for the shirts to be on sale about March or so. I've got a couple people asking about them, and, you know, yeah. And they're not going to be expensive either. I'm going to shoot for like $15 a pop. So if you want one for free, you're going to have to be a Mac Daddy. That's the end of the line right there, okay? If you want it for free, hey, you know, you could be a friend of mine, that's cool. But what are you doing to spread the good word? You know? Because the guy I named off from the last one, he's still out there putting in the work, repping the Mac Daddy seminar on the streets, right? He's getting more people into it. That's why he's getting a free shirt. That's why he's an honorary Mac Daddy. End of story. Okay? Spread the word. Maybe that can be you. Anyway. So, what else? Oh, yeah. So, I finally put down Red Dead, okay? I had enough cowboy riding horses, shooting people in my life, okay? I put that one down. On the upside, another game came out, another good one, and it's not even a new game. It's a remake. They remade Resident Evil 2 for PlayStation 4. And it's not even like a remake, it's like a reimagining. So it's like, it'd be like watching Bugs Bunny cartoon, right? And then they'd be like, oh, and this is the new Bugs Bunny, and it's like an actual rabbit hopping around like a black duck. That's how much better it is. Because, I mean, I played the original Resident Evil 2 on the PlayStation 1 when I was 6 years old, when everybody was just a block figure walking around all slow. All the zombies looked exactly the same, and it scared the shit out of me then. And now I'm 25 years old, and it looks real, and it scares the shit out of me now. But I love it. I think it's so much fun. I like going to haunted houses, and I like watching scary movies, and I like playing scary-ass video games. It's so... Oh man, it's so good how they've done it too, like with how the lighting effects and stuff, like when you're walking down a hallway and all you've got is your flashlight and there's like zombies walking down the hallway and all you can see is their silhouette, and then one of them just like jumps out of nowhere on you and scares the hell out of you. I play it with headphones on too, and I tell my wife, I'm like, look, if I'm playing this game and you sneak up behind me while I'm down here in the dark, I can't even... And you know what? Me telling her not to do that, of course, she does exactly what I ask her not to do, and she does just that. And she waited up till like 2 o'clock in the morning, the weekend that I got it, last weekend. It's like Saturday night. I stayed up playing the game, been running around, killing zombies in the dark, scaring the hell out of myself for 3-4 hours. And then I got my headphones on, and I'm, for any of you that are playing the game, okay, there's like zombies, regular zombies, and then there's this big LeBron James size man walking around in a trench coat that everybody calls Mr. X. And he was in the original one, and he's just this big, blank-faced white man, hands down, the scariest characteristics you can have. And he is just on a damn warpath to kill you. And you can shoot this guy 700 times And all you do is slow him down for about 5 seconds. I let 5 shots from a Desert Eagle hit this dude right in his forehead, and all he did was go, oh, and just kind of stand there confused for a second. Like I threw a wiffle ball at him. And then he just gets right back up and he's following you. And he follows you everywhere around this police station that the game is in. So he adds like another level of stress to each, to everything that you do, you know, because you can hear his footsteps coming, just, you know, and you'll be hiding in a closet and you'll hear them like stop. They'll get real loud and then they'll stop. And then you hear, like he's walking off, and you're like, okay, cool. You know, he went somewhere else. I'm good. And then you leave the room, and this is what happened, right? I don't know how my wife timed this more perfectly. I don't know how she could have. I'm sitting there, my character on the screen goes out of a door. I'm walking down a dark hallway. I got this big LeBron James motherfucker trying to find me. And I kid you not, at the exact same time, my wife grabs me on my shoulders as the guy on the screen, the big LeBron James looking dude, Mr. X, comes busting through a wall in front of me. And I had not seen him do that before. And you know what almost happened? I almost pooped the couch. Straight up. After I got done violently shaking for about 10 seconds, I had to go sit on the toilet. Because I almost shit the sofa. Pooped the couch, shit the sofa, it almost happened. And I warned her, you know. Thankfully it didn't, you know. Because then she would have been like, you can't play that game anymore. And I'd be like, well, if you hadn't snuck up behind me and scared the hell out of me, then we wouldn't even be having this conversation right now. But yeah, it's a good game. You know, I suggest everybody go get a copy of it because it's worth it, dude. I hope they keep making remakes like that. They've been taking, that's what PlayStation, and I don't know if Xbox does it either because we're team PlayStation over here all the way. But like they've been taking games that everybody liked when they were kids and they just put lipstick on a pig with them, just make them look better, and then they sell them back to people. And you know what? I'll buy it. Straight up. $59? Cool. Make me feel like I'm 6 years old again for a couple of hours. I'll sit here on the floor in the Indian style position drinking Coca-Cola. And instead of my mom coming in and telling me I need to go to bed, it's my wife. You know what I mean? But yeah. They need to keep remaking these games, man. And I can't play it with my daughter in the room because it's too violent. Anytime I play anything with any type of violence in it, I have to like make up some little side story to where she thinks that, you know, it's not what's happening, I guess. Like I like to play the Friday the 13th game, and I like, oh my God. Okay, so for any of you guys out there who have kids, and specifically in my case, I have a 3-year-old little girl. Hands down, best thing that ever happened to me. My wife was pregnant. I hoped we had a little girl. I don't even know why. I just wanted a little girl, and I got what I wanted. And anyway, 3 years later, I'm literally living in a house with a small version of myself. We laugh at the same stuff. She's about as goofy as can be. I think I've said this on the podcast before, and I say it to people that I know all the time. If she looks like my wife and acts like me, I am going to be in trouble when she's about 16. Because if she's pretty like my wife and she has my sense of humor and just a straight up and down goofball, it ain't going to be a good look, okay? It's going to stress me out. I'm going to look like Bernie Sanders before I'm, 37. But anyway, yeah, so anytime my daughter is in the room and I play a game with any type of violence, I have to make something up, I have to tell her something goofy, So, ever since she was born, I've called her just a plethora of nicknames. I've called her Frog. I've called her Chicken Nugget. And probably most exclusively, I just call her Poot. Okay? And I don't know where it came from. It's just one of those random things. But I started calling her Poot Magoot. And what made it stick was she said it back to me. She said, Poot Magoot. And we just both died laughing, me and my wife. So, when I play the Friday the 13th game, and whenever, she sees Jason on the screen, she's like, oh, Daddy, is that Spooky Man? I'm like, no, that's Poot Magoot. She's like, Poot Magoot? What's he doing? I say, he's looking for his friends. Because if you've ever played the Friday the 13th game and you get to be Jason, you're just hunting down a group of teenage kids, right? And she thinks it's funny. So, now, this whole Poot Magoot charade has spiraled into something that I couldn't have even imagined on my own, even though I pretty much fueled the entire thing. So, whenever Christmas was around, I played like sounds of like sleigh bells and like somebody walking on the roof of the house, and she'd be like, oh, Daddy, what's that? I'm like, oh, it's Santa. So anytime she hears anything in the house, she was saying it's Santa. It's already it's almost February, and I'm like, that's not Santa Claus. But so now she's doing that, and she's like, oh, what's that? Daddy. I'm like, what? That's Poot Magoot. So, we play along with it and stuff. And the other night, I'm digging through some of my old stuff, and I find an old ski mask, like one that people up north should be wearing right now, where it's negative 600 degrees and people are freezing outside. Hey, real quick, what is up with that, man? Realistically, it's like negative 60 degrees. It's colder in the United States than it is in Antarctica right now. Did y'all spill some radioactive shit in the water? Like, what is going on up there, man? I can't even imagine. The coldest weather I've ever been in my life, it was negative 6 degrees. And I was like, how do human beings survive in this? But anyway, so I found this ski mask, with, like Kodak Black wears in the Breakfast Club interviews, with just the eyes cut out and the mouth cut out. And then I put a pair of sunglasses on over the eyes, and I just came walking into the living room. And, of course, my dog sees me and loses his mind. But the funniest thing was my daughter stood up and went, oh, Mama, look! It's Poot Magoot. She wasn't scared. She just said, it's Poot Magoot. So, long story short, because I'm about to have to wrap this up, now, Poot Magoot is a member of our family, because my daughter will come up to me and say, Daddy, where is Poot Magoot? I'm like, oh, I think he's upstairs, baby. Go get him. And so, me being a good dad, walk upstairs, put on a ski mask and a pair of sunglasses, and walk back downstairs, and I talk like this. This is how Poot Magoot sounds. Hello, how are you? Are you eating potato chips? I think he sounds like Mr. Bean. At least that's what my wife says. But yeah, so my daughter and Poot Magoot play together. I know there are people listening to this right now that are probably calling a damn mental institution or child protective services. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you're not willing to be your version of Poot Magoot to your kids, you're the one that's got the problem. Okay? Because we just have a good time, man. I could put Poot Magoot in my wife's purse. You know, how many of y'all can bring your child's imaginary friend with you? That's what I'm saying, man. Dr. Phil, give me a call. I'm ready to give a parenting seminar on your show. But yeah, that's the story of Poot Magoot. And hence, that is why this episode is named Poot Magoot. Every time I name an episode, I'll listen to it. I'm like, yep, that we're going to name the episode that. As soon as I knew I wanted to talk about this in this episode, I was like, the name of this episode is going to be Poot Magoot. So, there you go. An inside look at the Mac Daddy seminar. But yeah, it's about that time, man. We got to wrap this thing up. Yeah. Like I said before, if I can, I will upload another video before the end of next week. But then after that, it's going to be a little bit. If I don't, I'm sorry. It's just bear with me because I just got too busy with work to sit down and actually record an episode. And I apologize in advance, but I'm going to try. For those of you that are true to the Mac Daddy seminar, you will understand that I will try. Okay? I'm only one man. You know? So, like I said, look for the next episode towards the end of February and at the absolute latest, early March. Once again, I appreciate everybody for listening. Be on the lookout for the exclusive Mac Daddy Seminar shirts. The first edition will be out sometime in March. I'm going to be posting more updates on that of my Instagram. And that's about it, guys. I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks.